Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Not So Predators and make comments upon it. I am your host, Preston Proctor. Yeah, last night's game. Wow, Philadelphia scored 2 in the second. Who could have seen that coming? I am just kind of stunned. And I am going to really, I think, we got this break coming up where they're going to play 2 in Sweden, and I'll probably just do one podcast for that because they're playing the same. They're playing the same team twice, in the same venue. Considered a home game, although I don't. It's not. They're considered to be the home team, so I guess the stats are going to go on the home stats anyway. Although I don't know how I'm going to treat that, but yeah. So we'll get to stats later, but. Yeah, so Philadelphia scored 2 in the second, furthering out how big a delta they have between the second period and other periods. And at some point in time, I'm going to have to try to see if I can figure out what it is that Philadelphia is doing in the second period that is notable. I took a quick look at shifts this morning. I took a quick look at shifts and I see a little bit where it looks like the second period they have more shifts. Like one of their players was a Konechny. The second period he had more shifts than he did in the first or third, and wound up being more time. But I don't know that that's consistent. I saw that for a few players. Saw that for the Preds too. Some for the Preds. It seemed like maybe it was more pronounced for Philadelphia. So, like I say, I've looked at that before. Try to see if they're running. If the teams are running shorter shifts or longer shifts or what. And I've never been able to come up with anything consistent that says, hey, this is what good teams do. And but whatever it is, Philadelphia is surely doing it. And Brian O'Reilly, another goal. Good thing we've got him. Who did we bring in? Didn't we bring in a couple of people last year? Boy, their names aren't even showing up in the stats. And this week, I even took Halla off because there's only so many players you can talk about. I tried to talk about who's first, second, and third, and points, assists, whatever. And don't want to spend the whole time calling out everybody on the team. Although, when we've got 5 guys tied for third in assists, you got to at least call out that's happening, which is great. But goal scoring, definitely a problem. Definitely a problem for the Preds. I didn't look at that. I did. I have to admit, I did go back and I looked at last season from a record standpoint, and because like I said, at the beginning of the season, I agreed with the team. Last year was last year, and it's reasonable to bring it up, in training camp once, and then let's move on, and that's fine. Except if this year and last year look the same, and this year seems to be a continuation of last year, then it is reasonable to bring it up again. Because the same things are happening. The same problems are going on. I think the power play was better last year, so that's different. Early on, I don't know, maybe the power play was a little rusty to begin with too. I'd have to go back and take a look, but so like I said, That's this is tiring. It's just tiring. With consistently looking at this stuff, and the Preds playing the way they are. It's still exciting hockey. They're skating well. I don't think they're slow. They're taking a decent number of shots and getting some decent goaltending. Again, one of the things that I historically, I don't want to say anything. Maybe I should. I mean, if it comes back to bite, how worse could the season get? I don't know. The announcers last night were making a case for Cole Smith being out, being a problem, and I can get that. I don't think Cole Smith comes out. Who I don't think to replace him with is Zachary Leroux. No, I don't think so. But hey, nobody asked me. I don't think he even played. I don't think he played last night, but they called him up, and he's not the guy I would have called up. No, it doesn't look like he's not. I don't know what it is that they love about Leroux, but he is not the guy I would have called up. I'm just going to leave it at that. And on Monday, I'll do my minor league update. And I'm sure I'll be mentioning people that I think would be better to have up here than Zachary Leroux. But hey, yeah. So that's sorry. This is just disappointing on so many levels. And I hate to bring that downer to things, but I think we at least have to say it. I mean, let's just say it, get it out, and maybe we can move on. So what do we got here? Stamkos and Marchessault are now on the same line. They had moved them around. Last year, the only way they could get a lot of production out of Stamkos and Marchessault was to put them on the same line with Forsberg. So I don't know. Maybe Haula is center left wing. So maybe move Forsberg back to the second line with and have Stamkos center it. And then move Haula up to the first line. Haula, O'Reilly, Evangelista. I like the sound of that. I do. Bunting playing well back here on the third line. Bunting, Svechkov, and Wood. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, does that say Lucchini? No. Okay. All right. So I think my breaks in the last podcast were awful. I had trouble. The Spreaker, the platform that I use for this, it does a terrible job of picking where to put ads. So I always, now, when I first started doing this, I didn't know to do this. Try to go back and put them in more reasonable places. When I do, Prudence and I have a podcast we do together, and we try to leave big gaps, and it rarely finds them. So yeah, I apologize for that. It wasn't the best, but it is what it is. Again, something of a learning experience. I kind of get talking about the statistics and get it all in my head, and just sometimes I just don't leave good enough breaks for the ads to make sense. So anyway, speaking of all of that, let's take a break for an ad. And then we'll talk about tomorrow's game. Yes, I'm doing this on Friday. Tomorrow's the tomorrow, the weather is actually supposed to be pretty nice. I think it's supposed to be like 73. So the game tomorrow at 2:30, it's going to be warm. So it'll be warmer, definitely warmer outside than inside. So that's something. At least it's going to be warm. Okay, so Saturday, Dallas Stars at 2:30. Here in Nashville, Dallas is fourth in the Central Division with 17 points. They did lose to Anaheim last night at home. They are 7-4-3 overall, 3-1-2 on the road. Saturday's game is a one-game road trip, and the weekend is a back-to-back. So they are playing Saturday and Sunday, coming to Nashville on Saturday, and then back home for Sunday for a one-game homestand against Seattle. And so far for Dallas, both times they've faced Nashville have been in back-to-back situations. Hasn't slowed them down a bit. Not a bit. And, it's one of those things, the whole back-to-back situation. I don't know that, they won both games in their last back-to-back, Carolina, Nashville, and this time it's Nashville, Seattle. The other one was a home and away, and this is an away and home. But I don't know that. My feeling is that a lot of back-to-backs early in the season is bad for a team if they're not playing well. Now you anticipate teams playing well at the beginning of the season. That doesn't always happen. The Preds. Calgary has had the most back-to-backs so far, and they're having the worst season so far. Don't know that that's a correlation because Montreal has a lot of back-to-backs too, and there they are up in the top of their division, top of the league. So it doesn't necessarily. And for them, it might be an advantage because if they're playing well, then they get to keep playing well. The problem is if you're not playing well and you're in back-to-back situations, then you don't really have time to adjust like the Preds are adjusting. Anyhow, so it's not Nashville in a back-to-back situation. It is Dallas in a back-to-back situation. Tomorrow's game is the second of three versus Dallas. We will be in Dallas in late February. One of the coldest I have ever been was when I was in Plano, Texas, which is just north of Dallas, in November. Years ago, I worked for Electronic Data Systems, Ross Perot's old company. At the time I worked for them, it was General Motors owned the company, but I had to go down to Plano for 2 weeks for pre-account training when I started that job, and boy, was it cold. Oh my gosh, it was below zero, a high of below zero in, I think it was 1986. 1986 in November. Whew. Jiminy Cricket. So February, who knows what the temperature will be outside. Inside will be whatever the temperature normally is. But late February, we'll meet them for the third time. So far, Dallas is 1-0, having beaten Nashville 3-2 here in Nashville on October 26th. Last year, they played 4 times, alternating losses with wins. So they lost in October 4-3 here in Nashville, and then won in Dallas 1-4. No, that's right. Got it the other way around. They won. That's right. I put the winner, their score first. They won here in October 4-3 in Nashville, then lost in Dallas 1-4, then won in Dallas in April in 5-1, and then lost. Now that's definitely not right. They did lose. I don't have that particular. I think that must have been 1-5 because, Dallas last year was the team that we played in the first game and the last game, and we lost to them the first game because we lost the first 5, so that's easy to know, and then we beat them at the end. Last year, Dallas was second in the Pacific Division. They did make it past Colorado in the first round, 4-3. Then they beat Winnipeg in the second round, 4-2. Makes you wonder how in the world we beat them the last game of the year. And then in the third round, they ran into Edmonton and lost 1-4. They won the first game and then the rest of the way. So, and then fortunately, Florida took down Edmonton at the end. Personnel changes. Dallas is one of these teams that's had a lot of people on there injured for a while. And two guys that were injured when we met the last time, they are now off. Fosca, one of their new guys, he is now off the injured reserve, and I didn't look to see if he had played last night, but he's off injured reserve. Matt Duchene is still injured, not expected back till the 8th. So that's tomorrow. That date keeps moving out. A lot of these dates just keep moving out. Jamie Benn is also, he's now day-to-day at least. He was week-to-week, but now he's day-to-day and expected back on the 11th, so not expected back for the game against Nashville. Number 14 left wing Jamie Benn, number 95 center Matt Duchene. Another guy not expected back, number 5 defenseman Nils Lundqvist, day-to-day, expected back on the 11th as well. And then two other guys not expected to be back, number 48 center Chase Wheatcroft. Well, he went the other way. He was, both of these guys were day-to-day, and now they're week-to-week. So number 40 right wing Kyle McDonald and number 48 center Chase Wheatcroft now week-to-week instead of day-to-day. Wheatcroft expected back on the 22nd. McDonald on the 30th. McDonald, I mean, they had been earlier. McDonald was on the November 1st, and Wheatcroft was October 25th. So could be their situation a little worse than they thought, or just how teams manage injuries. I'm not exactly sure. For your Nashville Predators, 6th in the Central with 14 points, 5-7-4 at home, 4-4-2, decent record. Like I said, I had to go look it up. Last year they were 5-9-2. So this year the same number of wins, 2 additional overtime losses, so 2 more points than they had last year, and all those were at home. The road record is exactly the same as last year, 1-3-2, and at home last year they were 4-6-0 as opposed to the 4-4-2 that they are this year. This is, okay, didn't update that. This is the last. Yeah, okay. So let me go ahead and get this one in. I forgot to promo Quantum Energy Squares yesterday in my podcast. And Preds Pro is the promo code that'll get you 25% off at Quantum Energy Squares. It's quantumsquares.com. Nice little energy bar and a little bit of caffeine, a little protein, just what you need when you're in the middle of doing a bunch of edits on a Word document and you're starting to run dry. Oh, they're also good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I took it out when I played golf last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and 2 weekends ago, and I had the cookies and cream. Prudence had the cookies and cream. We only had one left, and she grabbed it, took it upstairs to her office. So, left with the caramel, but that's okay. That's good too. I think they're all good, and I don't think they're overly sweet. I don't like things that are sickening sweet, for sure, but definitely not in a bar. I got one of the bars I've got. I think it's just a little too sweet, but Quantum Energy Squares have a really nice flavor to them. So that's since the production staff missed this update. So this is tomorrow's game is the last of a 2-game homestand. They're 0-1-0. At least I knew that. I think sometimes my production staff throws stuff in here just to see if I'm going to catch it. I think they're in the other room listening, going, ha ha ha. He's not going to get that one. So the Preds have played 16 games. Boston has also played 16 games. And I think that is the most. And I think at this point they are the only 2 teams that have played that many games. I know the announcers want to try to give the Preds some cover. Business. They like, we're going to give you some air cover. I hate that phrase. I really don't like it. Yeah, kind of like those commercials. Oh, you're a rock star. Oh, we're going to provide some air cover for you. No, this is business. This is, not a combat situation. And Boston is 9-7-0. They've got 18 points. The Preds have 14. And Boston is, where's Boston? Boston is, no, that's because you're still ordered by the wrong way. Boston is tied for second in their division with tied with Detroit, who's played 2 less games. Montreal leading that division, having also played 2 less games and 20 points. So, and like I said, Montreal has had a number of back-to-backs as well. So you can't really, you can find any excuse that makes you feel better, but if you want to, if which I don't know, does it make you feel better if you think, oh gosh, they've had to play so many more games when they come back from this trip to Sweden, they're going to be behind the 8 ball because they will have only played 2 games in a week and a half. And these other teams will have played like 4 or 5. So they'll be a couple of games behind. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm hopefully on this this little break to Sweden and Stockholm. I've been to Stockholm before. A beautiful town. Didn't go by. I don't think we went by the arena. The arena is on the other side of the bay from where we were staying, and we were there for a bike ride anyway. We were doing a bike ride through Sweden, and then we finished down in Copenhagen. But didn't ride all the way from Sweden to Copenhagen. We took the train. We probably should have because it was hot when we were in Sweden. It was in the 90s, and they are not used to that. The restaurants didn't have air conditioning. We're just going through pitchers of water sitting at dinner because it's so hot. And it was on the verge of unpleasant during the day. It was, it's not that bad. I mean, here in Nashville, 90 degrees, right? But yeah, the places there are not designed with the idea that they're going to have 90-degree weather, and so yeah, it was quite the thing. And the tour group we were with had gotten us. Not all cars in the train have air conditioning. Only one, I think, had air conditioning, and we were booked in that one, but the air conditioning was broke. And, don't mind the people that we were with. Anyway, but some of the people were real complainers. If you sat in your chair, it was fine. It was fine. Anyway, I like to complain. Some people just like to complain. But anyway, yeah, so they're going to be off to Sweden, playing a couple of games in Stockholm. Shouldn't have to worry about it being 90 degrees since it's November. But it should be a good opportunity for the Preds to figure out how to get this season on track. And you don't want to say it. I don't know. They sat Svechkov, and supposedly when he came back, he had a better attitude. Maybe Stamkos, Marchessault, maybe if they, watched a couple games, maybe, because sometimes I think you can do this in football too. Your quarterbacks don't really necessarily understand how the defense is playing against them. So when they're on the sidelines, they can get a little bit better perspective of it and then come back in the game and play better. But I don't know. Anyway, so they've got this game tomorrow, Dallas, here in Nashville. Then Monday they are at the New York Rangers. And they are at the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers, 14 points. They're in the bottom. Well, they're tied with the Metropolitan Division. 6 points now separates the bottom from the top. And so 3 teams at the bottom with 14 points. So the Rangers. That's why I like the Flyers. They were at the bottom when I looked at them at first, and then when I updated things before yesterday's game, they had jumped up from last to fourth. And it's like, wow, okay, how did that happen? Looks like the Rangers, they're at Detroit today. Then they play the Islanders on Saturday and then Nashville. Shesterkin looks like he gets 3 starts. And so it kind of looks like Quick. Yeah, 3 starts for Shesterkin, and then Quick 2, and then Quick 3, 1. So, Jonathan Quick, our favorite goaltender. Like to see him playing well. Like to watch him play. But my guess is he's going to be playing tonight at Detroit, and so Shesterkin will be in goal on Monday. So Dallas on Saturday, Monday, the Rangers, and then they go off to Sweden, where next Friday, Sunday, they play Pittsburgh, and then they'll be back in the U.S. of A on November 22nd. So that's the upcoming schedule. Not expected to be back until after that. Currently is Roman Josi, number 59 defenseman Roman Josi, and number 36 right wing Cole Smith. Both are day-to-day. Josi expected back on the 24th of November. That's moved a couple times. Cole Smith now expected back December 15th. And Adam Wilsby, number 83 defenseman, expected back on the 8th. That was the 6th, moved to the 8th. Now it's the 8th. And we'll see where that ends up. All right, so now let's get into some statistics. Lovely statistics. We're getting closer. 16 games. I'm getting excited. 16 games, and we've got 3 more. So we'll be at 19 when we come back from Sweden. That breakaway 20th game. And then we'll, have a little bit better, from an overall standpoint. Actually, you can call the numbers maybe statistically relevant. Still, the best they are is trends. Unfortunately, the biggest trend is the Preds' only hope of winning the goal, and that's only a 50% hope, is if they get the first goal. And last night they got the first goal, and that evened it up. So they're 4-2-2 when they get the first goal. So it's 50%. They are 1-5-2 when they don't. So that's no bueno. Again, we're here on the road. So 3-2-1 when they get it, or home. We're here at home tomorrow. 3-2-1 at home when they get it. So that's still, again, a coin flip. And away 1-2-1. Looking, gosh, these road numbers are awful. At the end of the podcast yesterday, I was looking at one particular number for the road. I'm like, you can't talk about it. This is not a road game. Not a road game. Don't go. Just walk away. Just walk away. Overall, looking at winning by period, the Preds in the first period are 3-4-9. So they've won the first period a couple of times here. 3-6-7 in the second. 5-10-1 in the third. 5-10-1. So they've only tied the third period once, which is kind of amazing, actually. At home, 3-1-6 in the first period, so most likely to tie the first. This is that has been a trend this season, a very strong trend. I mean, if you look at it, 9 times overall they've tied the first period, and only 7 times they haven't. So more than 50% of the time so far this year, they're tying the first. And if I remember from yesterday's podcast, their best scenario is to tie the first and tie the second. So I'm kind of, loving that. Unfortunately, they won the first and lost the second last night, then lost the third, you lose two periods, and you're going to lose the game. Win 2 periods, you're going to win the game. That's pretty strong. Kind of a fun game to play. We're not going to a lot of games this year. It's unfortunate we're not able to do that this year. But either way, when you're watching the games on TV or watching them in the stadium, and after the second period, we can go, well, we know what the outcome is. So 2 years ago, was after the first goal, you'd be like, oh, well, because the Preds had a 3-to-1 ratio of wins to losses when they got the first goal, and 1-to-2 on losses when they didn't. So, yeah, it was kind of a fun game to play. Well, they got the first goal. I guess we can leave. They're going to win the game. But at home, they're in the first period. They're 3-1-6. Second period, 1-5-4. Oh, that's awful. 1-5-4. They're 3-6-7 overall. 1-5-4. 3-6-1 in the third. So I guess technically they have a winning record in the first period. Ooh, my hard whistle. Sorry about that. 3-6-1, I guess, is technically a winning record. Let me go down here and see what my correlations look like. Just for fun, that third period, at home, the 3 times that they've won the third period, they are 2-1. 6 times that they've lost it, they're 1-5. And the 1 times they tied it, they did win it. So that's handy. First period correlations overall, winning the first period, not that good of an indicator. They've done it 3 times, just like last night. They're 1-2 in those games. 0-4. They've not won a game where they lost the first period yet this season. Only happened 4 times, and then when they tie the first period, it's a coin flip. 4 wins, 5 losses. And that's consistent for home. I'm not looking it away. Don't look at those numbers. But looking at the second period, same situation. 3 wins in the second period. They're 1-2. So winning the first period and winning the second period is not a good indicator. Losing, very strong. Then the 6 times they've lost the second period, they've lost all of those games, and then tying them is a coin flip. So, yeah, what did they do last night? Last night they won the first and lost the second. They won the first and lost the second. That's happened twice, and they've lost both of those games. Like I said, if they tie the first and tie the second, they're 3-0-0. That's their best record. That is their best record. If they win the first and tie the second, they're 1-0-0. It's only happened 1 time, but I mean, at least they're undefeated in those 2 scenarios. So that's something. The third period is a little better. The 5 times they've won the third period, they're 3-2. The 10 times they've lost it is 1-9. When they tie the third period, they've won it. When they have won, oh, here it is. Periods won. When they've won 1 period, they're 4-6. 4-6 so 10 times they've won 1 period, and you could call that a coin flip. Twice they've won 2 periods, or once just overall. There's only one game that they've won 2 periods. Wow. 5 games they've won none. Which was what was that, Minnesota recently? Because they did win one against Philadelphia. They won the first period. 10 games they've won 1 period, and then 10 times they've lost 2. 10 times they've lost 2 periods, and they are 0-10. Yeah, so 10 times this season they have lost 2 periods, and they've lost all of those games. Ugh. Yeah, that's ugly. At home 8 times. 8 times they have won 1 period, and they're 4-4. So coin flip. They have not won 2 periods. I guess the one game where they won 2 periods, that was on the road. I'm not looking at the road statistics. Do not look at road statistics. Yeah, only 1 game have they lost only 1 period. They're 1-0 in that game. And when you lose 3, yeah, so 1 game they lost all 3. Yeah, you lose 3 periods, it's hard to win the game. It's not possible. You can lose 2 and win, and we saw that I think 3 times last year and 2 times before that. The year before that, I think last year the 3 times that they lost 2 periods. The won 2 periods and lost the game. I think that was, yeah, I think all 3 of the games were that scenario where they won 2, lost 2, and lost the game. 2 years ago, it was twice that they lost 2 periods, but they also won 2 periods and they won the game. I think all 5 of those games were 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And then whoever got the 2 in the third wound up, getting the overtime win. So, yeah. All right. So we talked about correlations, winning by period. And I am missing something. Winning by period for which first goal, winning by period, result correlations. The winning goal, right. Let's take a noticeable break here, and then we'll get back to it. All right, the winning goal last night was in the second period because they got 2, but still strong in the third period, 38%. Overtime, 25% of the games have been won in overtime for the Preds. That's just sick. And yeah, so that's the second highest number. So 6 times it's been the third period, 4 times it's been in overtime. Only twice in the first and 3 times in the second. That's kind of wild. Same sort of trend. Oh, nice little symmetry there. 1-2-4-2-1. 1-2-4-2-1. That's how things work here at home. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, 2 in overtime, 1 in a shootout. More symmetry. When the Preds win at home, 1 in the first, 0 in the second, 2 in the third, 0 in overtime, 1 in the shootout. 1-0-2-0-1. And then when they lose, 0-2-2-2-0. Wow, lots of symmetry here. Let's see, the home team, road team. Road team did win last night. 7 times this season the road team has won. 9 times the home team has won. 43% of the time when the road team wins, they're scoring the winning goal in the third period. And for the home team, a third of the time it's in the third period. So, yeah, the third period right now, I think, it was kind of interesting overall. Like 2 years ago, it was kind of when the road team won, it would be in the second period. They'd get the winning goal in the second period, and the home team would primarily be in the third period. Really, really interesting numbers. And so far this year, the only interesting thing about these numbers is the symmetry. Goal scoring. Let's just keep this up. The Preds did get one in the first period. The opponents did not. They're still being outscored in the first period, 10-11. They're being outscored in the second, 13-18. Outscored in the third, 16-21. Here in Nashville, they are outscoring the opponents in the first, 10-6, but that's it. They're being outscored in the second, 7-13, and the third, 8-11. So that's not really where you want it to be. And then switching back over to the scenarios, Preds enter the second, third period winning, tied, or losing. And any of those, does the Preds have any advantage? They have an advantage in when they enter the third period tied, 3-2. They entered the third period losing last night, and Philadelphia got a goal. So in that situation, they're being outscored 8-13. Take a look at it. Was at home. Home, it's 4-6. Actually, it's taking out the empty net goals. It's 4-4. I guess last night was that last night wasn't an empty net goal. Yeah, it was. So at least. Taking out the empty net goals in the third period when the Preds enter losing, it's 4-4. So, yeah, pretty much it's just like last year. Pretty much every situation that you run into, the Preds are being outscored. I've got this graph here where I map the delta. This basically the difference in scoring by period. I've got the difference in scoring by period, and then the Preds, what the Preds scoring is in the second period relative to the difference, score difference in the first, and then the same for the opponents, and then the second relative. Then for home and away, and then also the taking a look at the scoring delta from the third with regards to the second, and then also the scoring differential in the first. And got these nice little graphs and all these green dots anything. It's kind of tough to look at difference in scoring by period. 9 times they've been outscored by 1. Oh, nice symmetry there too. Anyway, so really this doesn't lend itself to this particular part of my spreadsheet does not lend itself to me just looking at it, because I have to try to remember what I did. I don't look at this much. I spent a lot of time building these things. Because I thought it would be kind of interesting. And later on it will. It's just really hard, talk about not having a lot of data points, the number of times that they've been outscored by 2 or by 3, on the road or at home, that's just single data points for the most part. Which I guess the biggest thing is like 0, the difference in score to being 0 in the different periods. 9 times. I mean, that just gets back to whether they tied the period. But anyway, so that's something interesting that I look at from time to time, but I haven't really found anything to call out. I think I did 2 years ago, and it's nice. It's easy. It's a lot more fun when the Preds are playing well. Anyway, so so that's your goal scoring update. Matchups. So let's talk about matchups. So we are playing the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars. Dallas. When did we play Dallas? Dallas. Yeah. Okay. So Dallas is right down in the bottom with the Preds on number of goals that they're scoring. They've scored 40 to the Preds 39, which makes it good for 24th and 26th in the league. Fairly similar. The first, second, and third periods, they're only separated by one goal. The Preds have 10 to Dallas's 9 in the first. Dallas is 14 to the Preds 13 in the second, and 17 to the Preds 16 in the third. There is a big difference in goals against both teams in the upper half of the league, though. The Preds are fourth in the league in being scored on, and Dallas is 12th, 54 to 49. So there's a 9-goal difference there. Difference of 2 in the first, only 1 in the second, and 4 in the third. So the Preds are fifth in the league in being scored on in the third period with giving up 21, eighth in the league. After last night, you'd be surprised that they're only eighth in the league, giving up 18, but definitely the number of goals grows against the Preds. The Dallas, oddly enough, has given up the same number of goals in the second and the third, 17. So, yeah, both teams in the bottom half on giving up goals in the first, and then make up for it in the second and third period. That's rather generous of them. Be a little stingy at first. Hey, here you go. You can have a goal. Why don't you have a goal? You have a goal. No, you have a goal. Special teams. Looking back, looks like against Dallas the last time, the Preds had 2 opportunities and Dallas had 6. Both teams got 1 goal in special teams, and so the net result was 0. Which game was that? I guess just hunt for Dallas. Yeah, minor. 5-on-3. Dallas had a 5-on-3 with 4-on-3, and then 2 empty nets for the Preds at the end of the game. Yeah, that 5-on-3, that's not going to get you very far. It's surprising too because Dallas's power play is really good. Penalty kill, Nashville is in the top of the league. Dallas is in the bottom. Dallas is 27th on the penalty kill. Nashville is 13th. Dallas has given up 13 goals on 44 opportunities, and the Preds 9 on 50. So the Preds have given up 4 less goals on 6 more opportunities. The Preds have scored a shorthanded goal. So net in the league, the Preds are 12th in the league, and Dallas is 29th. The goals to opportunities, Dallas has given up the 4th most goals in the league on the penalty kill, on the 20th most opportunities. So that's not the right direction for that to be, but that's good for the Preds since they're playing them. Not sure that's going to help, but at least I can't say that. Can I say that? Boy, I'm not going to say that. That's just mean. The Preds have given up the 18th most goals in the league on the 8th most opportunities. Way too many opportunities, shorthanded, but 8th most opportunities and 18th most goals against. So they want that number to roll. On the power play, Dallas is 3rd in the league at 34%. Okay, Preds, you got to stay out of the penalty box. I know it didn't work against you. They did get 1 power play goal in the third period. The Preds got a power play goal in the first last time. But that 5-on-3, giving them a 5-on-3 and then 4-on-3 opportunity, really not cool. Not cool. And it's not going to play in your favor. So hopefully the Preds can stay out of the penalty box. So they're 3rd in the league, 34%, 17 on 50 opportunities. So they've had 1 more opportunity on the power play than the Preds, and they've scored 10 more goals. Now they have given up 3 shorthanded goals, so their net in the league, their net power play is 5th, 28%. The Preds are half that, 14% net. 14. Well, they haven't given up any shorthanded goals, so they're 14% overall and 14% net. The Dallas, I guess the saving grace, Dallas has got 34%, but they're 25th in the league in number of opportunities, so they're not on the power play as much as other teams. Now that number doesn't make any sense because they've got more opportunities than that. That can't be right. That can't be right at all because this is on the power play, and they have more opportunities than the Preds, so they can't be ranked below them. So they're 8th and 9th. I think I got this mixed up. Yeah, I think I got this mixed up. So they're 8th and 9th on opportunities. That's the production staff. Opportunities, 8th and 9th. Yep, I got the numbers are in the wrong column. Goals, that's not even right. That can't be right. That can't be right either. Geez, that production staff. Okay, so 8th and 9th in the league in opportunities with 50 and 49. So they're in the upper half on the number of times they've been on the power play. Dallas is second in goals. Only one team has scored more goals on the power play, and that's Minnesota. They've had 7 more opportunities than. So their percentage is lower. The teams with higher percentage than Dallas are Edmonton and Pittsburgh. Well, that's just lovely. We get to play Pittsburgh 2 games in a row. So 8th and 9th in opportunities, and then as far as goals for, Dallas is second in scoring goals, and scroll. Nashville is 27th. So that's a little bad. Yeah, I think that. Did you guys hear that? I caught that. Can't see my staff. Gonna have to talk to them. Anyway, yeah. So you don't really want give Dallas that many chances on the power play. So here at home, let's see, Nashville is, where are we running at here? Nashville, in the second period, the first period, the opposition is getting the most goal opportunities, but they're scoring the most goals in the third period. So more power play goals are being scored in the third period for both the Preds and the opposition. And for the opposition, it's the least number of opportunities. It's only 13 opportunities in the third period versus 24 and 21, first and second. Preds are getting about the same number of opportunities in the first and third. 2 goals in the first and 3 in the third on 13 and 14 opportunities. And it's here at home, the Preds are running a cool 25% effectiveness in the first and third, just 8% in the second. The opposition has only scored 1 goal in each period, so 14% in the third, because that's the highest percentage. That's the lowest number of opportunities. They've only had 7 opportunities on the power play. In the third period, they've gotten 1 goal versus 15 and 16 in the first and second. So that's handy. That's nice. But yeah, Dallas is just a little too dangerous. They've got to stay out of the penalty box. Goaltenders: Jake Ottinger, 5-3-2. Casey DeSmith, 2-1-1. This year in the previous game, DeSmith was in goal for that 3-2 win for Dallas here in Nashville. For Dallas, it was the second of a 3-game winning streak. The other games were in Dallas. Dallas has got a lot of these 1-game road trips. They all involved Nashville, both times so far. Both games were the back part of a back-to-back, which didn't slow them down. Well, this one's the front end. This is the front end of the back-to-back. They play Seattle on Sunday. Okay, so once again, production staff getting a little loosey-goosey here. Last year, Ottinger was in goal for all 4 of the games, so he was 2-2. It looks like the scores are right here. 4-3 win in Nashville in October, the first game of the year. The second game, at that time, Dallas was kind of alternating 2 wins and 2 losses, and so they wound up losing to Nashville 1-4 in Dallas. And the third game for Dallas was their last win of the regular season. They had 7 games remaining. They beat Nashville 5-1 in Dallas, and then, like I said, they lost. They finished the year 0-5-2 last year, and then went to the playoffs. And didn't they get that right? They went 3 rounds, finishing the season 0-5-2. And the last game of the year was a 1-5 loss here in Nashville. Recently, DeSmith did get 2 in a row, and Ottinger played last night, which just is a little confusing. They do play Seattle at home on Sunday. So originally I thought it was going to be DeSmith here in Nashville, but I can't see Ottinger only getting 1 start in a row. Maybe, stranger things have happened. It is a back-to-back situation. But I think we're going to get Ottinger tomorrow, and DeSmith will play against Seattle. For Nashville, UC Saros is 5-5-3, and Justice Anunen is 0-2-1. Anunen was in goal in the previous game against Dallas. It was the first game of a 3-game losing streak in the back end of a back-to-back. I think it was a back-to-back. It was that weekend where everybody was playing back-to-backs. L.A., Dallas, and Nashville were all doing back-to-backs and playing each other. The Preds did beat L.A. on Saturday in the shootout and then lost to Dallas in that particular back-to-back. But Anunen was in goal for that. Last year against Dallas, Wedgwood was in goal for the first game of the year. And then Anunen was in goal in the second and third. The second game was a win, and it broke an 8-game losing streak. The Preds were 0-5-3 in that. And then the third game, which was a loss, was the 5th game of a 6-game losing streak. And then Saros was in goal for the last game of the year, his only time he was in goal against Dallas, and it was a win. Anunen did play Tuesday, so Saros in goal this Saturday. Players to watch. Why is he here? I think I must have... no, not Harley. Why was Harley listed? All right, back to it. Who to watch? Let's see. In the previous game, goals were scored by Oscar Back, Wyatt Johnson, and Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen got the power play goal. Back has an interesting stat. He's 100% on shots this year. He's only had 1 shot, and it was against Nashville, and it went in. He has played 4 goals. I think he was injured coming into the game with Nashville, but did get the 1 goal. Other interesting things. Thomas Harley. Why is Thomas Harley listed? Not sure. But number 96, right wing Mikko Rantanen, a guy to watch for lots of reasons. Second in goals with 8, first in assists, first in points, and except for the guy who's 100% shooting percentage. And then there's a couple other guys, like they're injured, but Nils Lundqvist and Matt Duchene both have really good shooting percentages, but like 2 shots, 3 shots, both have 1 goal. They've both been injured. They only played 4 goals so far this year. So discounting those, Mikko Rantanen, 21.6% shooting percentage, 37 shots and 8 goals. Like I said, second on the team. Interesting stat for Dallas, Wyatt Johnson, number 53, center Wyatt Johnson, first on the team with 9, then Rantanen at 8, and then back after that, it's 4. So those two guys, so what, they got 40 goals scored by Dallas this year, and 17 of them, about half, are from these two guys, Wyatt Johnson and Mikko Rantanen. And not surprising, they both got a goal in the game with Nashville. So, yeah, Rantanen is at 21.6%. Johnson's at 19.6%. So both around the 20, 20 or better. Johnson's around 20, but Johnson's second on the team in shots with 46, and he's got 9 goals. So Jason Robertson has the most shots. He's third on the goal in points, second on the goal in assists. So definitely we need to keep an eye on number 53 and 96. Those two. I did add Tyler Seguin because his shooting percentage got up to 20. I'd taken him off for the last. I think I took him off the list when I first started working on this, and then see that he must have gotten a goal last night. Maybe got a goal last night, and he's back up to 20%, 4 goals on 20 shots. Number 91, Tyler Seguin. The announcers might pronounce that differently. I've given up. I'm going to say the names as I say them. Some of these I've heard. Some people you just know, like Niels Lundqvist. I mean, just don't even need to question that. Seguin, I didn't think so. I thought there was another guy named Seguin that played in the league. May not be related to this guy, but maybe he does pronounce his name differently. Got me, but I think it's pretty easy. 96-53 for sure. Keep an eye on them. Most dangerous players on the ice, Rantanen and Johnston. And taking a quick look, Rantanen and Johnston, and they play together. Right wing center, when they play with Steele. Steele is listed on the left wing. Seguin, Hintz, and Robertson, the second line. And then Fosca is back on the fourth line. Face-off specialist, I think, is what I had down for him. He was, I think, when we ran into them before, I didn't look this up, but I think he was running about 64% on face-offs. So I didn't necessarily look that up this time. I just didn't. For Nashville. Nashville. Number 9 left wing, Philip Forsberg. First in goals, second assists, first in points. Ryan O'Reilly also first in goals. Number 90, center Ryan O'Reilly. Second on the team in points with 10. He has now dropped to 6th in time on ice. Blankenberg has moved up to 5th. So we have 5 defensemen. Yossi is still at the top, and he's injured. So 4 active defensemen are ahead of O'Reilly now. O'Reilly, 21.4% shooting percentage, 6 goals on 28 shots. So yeah, gotta like that. First on the team in assists is number 77, right wing Luke Evangelista, the $3 million man. 7 assists, has had some good shots, and I think don't have those points down. I think he's only got 1 goal. But yeah, leading the team in assists, Luke Evangelista. The other guy, number 58, left wing Michael Bunting. Yeah, take a bow. Third on the team in goals, assists, and points, 4, 5, and 9. But a 20% shooting percentage, 4 goals on 20 shots. So yeah, O'Reilly and Bunting. Nice to see some names coming up there. I mean, I still have Stamkos and Marchessault on there because they're second and third in shots, but I probably pretty much could just delete them off my roster because it's not really – just because you take a lot of shots doesn't mean I need to talk about you. Stamkos did get a goal the other night, but hey, enough said. He's been in the penalty box. Last year, he took way more penalties than he normally did in Tampa. Kind of disappointing. But yeah, we definitely need to get production out of. We need to get production out of everybody. But the Stamkos to Marchessault definitely, that's supposed to be their thing, right? That's why we brought them in, and we brought them in. Yeah. But not Marchessault is third on the team in goals with 4. Definitely need to get more scoring. Need more scoring. Need to score. Hey, I've said it. Just do it, right? Isn't that how it works? If only. All right, so 2:30 tomorrow. Dallas Stars in town. All-Star Modry. I got a Dallas jersey, like the older green, the hunter green, but I've got a Dallas jersey. Yaroslav Modry played for the Kings, of course. Went to play for Dallas, and so I don't know, some Garth Brooks charity thing. But anyway, so not that I don't wear it. I don't wear it. Maybe I should. It seems like the last year, whenever Amy and I, not Amy. Who did I go to a game with? Anyway, whenever I'd wear the opposition team, and I think that was 2 years ago, whenever I wore the opposition team jersey, the Preds would win. So, kind of like if we took my nephew, who's a Blue Jackets fan, took him to the game against the Blue Jackets, the Preds always won. So he's not inclined to go anymore. But, maybe I should. I don't know. I think we're playing golf during the game tomorrow, but we'll watch it later. Anyway, so tomorrow at 2:30, Dallas is in town. They are 7-4-3, 3-1-2 on the road. Since the last time we played them, they are 2-1-2, and lost to Anaheim last night 5-7. 5-7, 12 goals. Wow. Did they even bother to dress a goaltender? You just you really gotta wonder, right? Nashville is 5-7-4. At home, 4-4-2, 1-3-2 since meeting Dallas. So that last game, so neither team have really played that great since the last time they met. Nashville is on a 3-game losing streak, so neither team really lighten things up right now. Dallas did start off the season well. They had 3 wins in a row to start the season. And then what did they do? They 3 wins in a row, then 4 losses, 1 an overtime loss, then 3 wins in a row, then 2 losses, both in extra time, then a shootout win and a loss. So not the best start, but there's still plenty of season left for both of these teams. I said that last year. I did believe it. But there's still plenty of time. Plenty of time. I think, what was it last year? Last year, definitely by the end of the year, I think things were pretty much set in stone. Although, at the end of November, you could kind of see where they were at. So I think really the next point to take will be at the end of November. They play on November 30th, Ottawa. And so after all those games, when is Ottawa? How many games will they have played by the time they get to Ottawa? The end of November. This is, what are you looking at? That says Winnipeg. What are you looking at? Oh, that's Dallas. Well, who cares who Dallas plays at the end of November? We play Winnipeg. That's okay. Never mind. Yeah, we got a nice back-to-back there at the end of the month. Friday, Saturday, Chicago, Winnipeg. At Chicago, and then home versus Winnipeg for a nice little back-to-back there. And that will be the 25th game. So 25 games in, 82-game season. I think you can start doing some projections. I think plan on doing my first playoff projection at that point. It was interesting to do last year. To follow and see where people are at and make projections of where they're going to go based upon a couple of different formulas. I had a couple of different ways of making those projections. And, sometimes it's just, you got to play the games and any team can go on a losing streak. And that happened to a couple of teams last year during the playoff runs. And then, they can look like they're really strong, take Minnesota. For most of the year last year, Minnesota looked like they were going to be one of the best teams in the West, and what they got in as the first wild card team. I wouldn't say they snuck into the playoffs, but definitely did not go into the playoffs where it looked like they should the whole rest of the season. Come at the end of November, we'll take a look at that, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Dallas Stars. What should I predict this time? So I predicted a couple of things, and every time I predicted it doesn't come true. Can I predict a Dallas Stars win? And can I call things that way? No, I'm getting some no's. You don't want to poke the bear there. Predict the Preds lose. Who wants to do that? I already did this once. I said Stamkos was going to get a hat trick. Stamkos was going to get a hat trick. Somebody the other night almost got, what was it? Not a Bobby Orr. What is it? I forget, some guy's hat. Gordie Howe, a Gordie Howe hat trick. Gordie Howe hat trick is a goal, assist, and a fight. It was Weisblack, I think, the other day. He got like a goal and assist, and I thought, well, the guy should just find somebody and take a couple swings, and just get that, just to do it, Maybe have a fake fight. But no, I don't like fighting at all, and don't like it on the ice either. But yeah, can I say Stamkos will get the winning goal? I really want Stamkos to start playing. That's not that he's not playing well. I take that back. It's not that they're not playing well. The pucks just aren't going in the goal. I think that's what you've got to not only believe but see. I mean, you can see it. Every now and then you see a breakdown in a breakdown here, breakdown there. I mean, all teams are gonna have that. You can't play perfectly the entire game. Things happen. The puck bounces, and the next thing you know, you're where you at. So yeah. So what am I going to predict? What am I going to predict for the Dallas game? Well, I made the predictions on the goaltenders, and that one I'm used to getting wrong. Skay. Oh no, I can't say anything about Skay. Yeah, I know Skay. His superpower. I hate using that term. It seems to be anticipating where the puck is going to go. And so, I still don't know that he's necessarily worth what we paid for him, but we're going to pay him that much. Hopefully we can get some production out of him. And paying him more than we're paying Marcia Show. Marcia Show, 5.5, and Skay is 7. Stamkos is 8. Forsberg's 8.5. Yossi 9.5, 9. I think Yossi's the highest paid player on the team. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out who I'm going to. Oh, I can't. I'm okay. Forsberg 8.5. Yossi just over 9. Yeah. Yossi, the highest paid player. Saros 7.7. Nick Hague 5.5. Bunting, Perbix 2.7. Bunting, what are we paying Bunting? I think like 5, right? Bunting is 4.5. 4.5. Ryan O'Reilly 4.5. Michael Bunting 4.5. Eric Halla 3.1. Evangelista 3, and then down to $1 million for Cole Smith. It's kind of weird. Anyway, okay, so I think we've gone on long enough here. Sorry about all that. I had no predictions. I have no predictions for tomorrow. I can't even come up with something. I can't make something up. Just devastated by my lack of ability to make a decent prediction and see into the future and predict stuff that I've got absolutely no way of knowing how that's going to work out. But anyway, so tomorrow, Saturday, November 8th, Dallas Stars here in town at Bridgestone Arena, 2:30, to take on the Nashville Predators. Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with me. There must have been something in my coffee this morning. I'm Preston Proctor. You've been listening to Predators Proclivity.